Hello everyone, this is your favorite Uncle Bob back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at the Combiner Wars Streetwise. So before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below which the video, or what else you'd like to see in a video. So onto the figure himself, here we have Streetwise in his very nice, very sleek police car mode. And I gotta say, out of all the usage that this mold has seen, I think he wears it the best. So let's take a quick look at the details. You get the nice gunmetal gray for this part of the bumper, or whatever this is actually supposed to be in a police car. Get some nice silver for the headlights. The hood is done in a very nice blue with police and an Autobot symbol. Yeah, looks good. Unfortunately, rims are not picked out in silver, but this was Combiner Wars paint was not really, much of an option. But anyways, you get the nice blue stripe going down. Kind of would like to see it finished, but now that we know what we know, palm and all that unpaintable plastic, so yeah, well. Get some nice black for the windows, even this tiny one right back here. And the lights are just done in kind of a flat red, unfortunately. But yeah, looks really good. And he rolls very smoothly, so there is that. And for a real quick size comparison, here we have G2 sideswipe, so you can see that size-wise, he is actually ever so slightly longer than him. But otherwise, I think they work out pretty well. So there is that. And here we have his buddy Groove, Rook, First Aid, and Groove, because, yeah, I'll talk about these two maybe in his video, in Rook's video, we'll see. But yeah, they all look good together. And for one more size comparison, here we have Hotspot. Yeah, well, let's just start back in here. So yeah, this team looks really good together in the vehicle mode, despite him being 15 times the size he should be. So, yeah. So yeah, overall, Streetwise is very good. Please stand up, Groove, off to the side. Getting... Okay. Let's just get them off to the side before I start talking. Now, as far as accessories, he comes with two. The typical hand-foot gun thing that I have no idea what type of gun this is supposed to be, but yeah, looks like a gun. And here we have him with his triple-barreled shotgun. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. It is actually molded in this same white as him, but painted in this very nice kind of gunmetal gray. They did a really good job on it, looks really good. And all this can store in the alt mode. You simply just plug the giant hand-foot gun on top. And then what I like to do is I like to face the shotgun backwards, so it looks like a very, messed up exhaust, messed up in a good way. So yeah, this, despite this, that actually looks really cool. So yeah, overall, very nice looking vehicle mode. They, again, this mold, or this version of the mold is what I'm trying to say, wears it the best. But anyways, let's get down to transformation. So we're going to go into his combined modes and then a robot mode. So to get started, you're going to want to take the front section and lift it up, so that way you can also lift up this section and bring it back. Next, there's a double hinge. You're going to fold it back on this hinge right here all the way. So get this back all the way, and then you'll fold it down at that hinge as well to get this look. And you're also going to raise up the camera because you need more room. All right. Next, you're going to bring in the foot, attach at the bottom, and flip out the thumb heel. And finally, flip around the combiner peg, and there you go. There is a foot mode. And it looks decent enough. Now, there are some alternate configurations you can do. The one I do personally is I will flip this up, unthooping it and flip it up this way, and then have this kind of resting so you get that look. There's other people who do something like this. Basically, just configure it to however you like it. So, but anyways, let's get down to his arm mode. So remove the hand foot, put that off to the side. Go ahead and fold down the combiner peg, open up his legs, and flip them around. So get these all flipped around. Then, before you close it up, you gotta flip down this section right here. Then you can close this up There we go. Make sure that the knee pads are all the way out. Next, you're going to bring out the arms, and there is a tab right there. That'll go into a slot right in there, and get that plugged in. Now, technically, you don't have to do that if you don't want to, because no matter which way you have the arms up, the hips themselves will stop where this peg comes out. So you're not going to get the full 90 right here, but per the instructions, this is what they would like for you to do. So, but next, obviously, you'd rotate them to the side you want them on. Then you will flip out the fingers, flip down the thumb area, and get it to the appropriate side. Plug this in, and there you go. There you have Streetwise in arm mode, and it looks, pretty decent for Combiner Wars. It's not what we're used to with the skeleton system, but, it ain't too bad. Anyways, on to robot mode. I'll go over articulation when we do a full combine mode. You just want to turn the waist so he is oriented properly, and also split the legs. Please stand so I can get my camera up. All right. There we go. Oh, and one more thing, you got to open up this side to flip this back up and then close back up. Next, just untab the arms, and this is where you need a spudger because for some reason they put this on a very stiff ratchet, and I don't know why. Like, it makes no sense. Oh, and flip down the combiner peg as well while you're at it. So this side is very stiff, even after all these years. Next, you're going to take the backpack and unthroop it and flip it up. Then just get this section out of the way, so that way you can bring this down, and you got those two tabs going into those two ports. Get that in, and then just fold this on his back, and there you go. There you have Streetwise in his robot mode, and it looks really good. Typical backpack, but what are you going to do with the front of a car? Make him use it as a shield? So, but let's take a quick look at the face sculpt. Get the nice silver for his eyes, mouth, blue for the eyes, a very nice crisp blue. Red for his crest, and a little bit on his antenna. Get some nice red on his forearms, and some more black on his shins. So, yeah, pretty decent wise, and this chest plate is painted in a very nice black. Now, as far as articulation, the head is on the ball joints, but you can only get that far left and right just due to the hinge, which honestly, that's more than you'll ever need. You don't really get any up or down movement, really, very slight, but arms on a ball joint, so full 360. They move out to that bar. Bicep rotation. You get over 90 degrees of elbow bend, and the wrist only move inwards, weirdly enough. You get a waist rotation. Legs move forward, that bar, back, that bar, almost a full splits. You get a thigh rotation, over 90 degrees of a knee bend, and unfortunately nothing at the feet, just because at this time of, Transformers, articulation was not, priority. The combiner gimmick was priority, so. But he can hold his weaponry just fine, so plugging in his triple barrel shotgun. And if you really want to, you can plug the hand-foot gun on his shoulder. And, I think that looks decent enough. It is a bit heavy for that ball joint, so just be wary. But anyways, for a real quick size comparison, here we have him with G2 Sideswipe, so you can see that he is about a head taller than Sideswipe. And here we have him with his buddy Blades. And, the team is shaping up very nicely, so yeah, overall, Streetwise is a very well done figure, in my opinion. I do know Combiner Wars gets a bad rep because they reuse the molds 3-4 times minimum. And, that is annoying, I get it, but at the same time, if it works in some cases. And when you're doing combiners all year long, you gotta make some sacrifices, in my opinion. But yeah, he is a very fun figure, definitely worth a pickup. In my opinion, Defensor in general is worth the pickup, even if we do get one in 2027 or whenever. Just a fantastically done Combiner Wars figure. But anyways, I think that is about it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more video reviews.